Hey everybody, this is Cameron from Obnoxious and Anonymous, and boy, do I have a really cool story to share with all of you. This comes to us courteous of Twin Peaks blog. This is the epic and fascinating online resource for all things David Lynch and Twin Peaks related, created by Stephen Miller. Now, this morning he dropped a story called Twin Peaks Props Laura Palmer's Home University Bookshelf Volume 5 that made my mouth drop. I also know it made several other hardcore Twin Peaks fans' mouths drop. So I wanted to share it with all of you, but be sure to check out Stephen Miller's blog to read it in full detail because there's lots of cool links that you can click. And also, you're going to want to see this more upfront and in your face because this is really cool. This may not be awesome for casual fans, but for us hardcore rabbit hole diving Twin Peaks fans, this is the kind of stuff we live for. All right, so let's start this. Now, I'm going to admit to you that I've never in a million years thought to look at this. I don't know why, but when I say that, I mean like what this article is about. I've always been just enamored by the performances and the music by Angelo Badalamenti in this scene where Bobby confronts Laura and Donna outside the high school. Also been enamored by Cheryl Lee's amazing smile here. Never in a million years did I ever think to look at the textbook that she is carrying. But lo and behold, Stephen Miller and also Matthew Haywood did, and we are all the better for it now. I cannot believe that it has been nearly 30 years and nobody has ever thought to look at this yet, at least that I'm aware of. But thanks to them, we now know, and this is really, really cool. All right, so let's start. All right, following an afternoon of New Year's Day travel back to my home in Florida, I received a direct message from fellow Bookhouse boy Matthew Haywood, who is a really cool person on the internet, so be sure to follow him on social media, about a prop he identified from David Lynch's Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Matthew's previous tip about the identity of the actor who played the dead guy in Carrie Page's house in Twin Peaks Part 18 led to the most popular story on Twin Peaks blog in 2024. I know when I shared that story on the former Twin Peaks Worldwide before we had to start a new page on Facebook, it got hundreds and hundreds of likes and I think a couple hundred shares as well. So I am so happy that I was able to contribute to Stephen Miller hitting that record high on his blog here. Anyway, this time he found the textbook Laura Palmer carries throughout most of the film. Upon closer examination, I identified the story she was reading while seated at her desk bedroom, which was either an uncanny coincidence or selected by design. This is one of the reasons why I love Stephen Miller's blog is this deep dive into things. And, some of it may be coincidental, but others are just so interesting just from, a creative perspective that I tip my hat to him every time he drops an article like this because this is just super cool. This is the kind of stuff I live for, actually, as a Twin Peaks fan. Identifying Laura Palmer's Home University Bookshelf book. So here we have the cover here. Using the first image in this article of Laura Palmer and Donna Hayward walking away from Bobby Briggs at the Twin Peaks High School courtyard, Matthew identified the book by perspective, shifting the best shot of it and conducting a reversed image search. This is just really, really cool. All right. It's the Home University Bookshelf Volume 5, Famous Stories and Verse by the University Society Incorporated from New York. The Internet Archive has a copy online, which I believe you can click here, which was incredibly helpful for identifying Laura's homework assignment. Here's another picture of the book here. I easily found a reasonably priced copy on eBay, which will allow me to make a better high-resolution scan of the cover artwork. The book Laura is carrying has a green cover. Isn't that interesting considering the color of the alcove ring? But I have seen later editions with a red or maroon cover. And it continues on here. You can read all about it because he goes into the history of the publication company, and it's really, really cool. But I want to get to the meat and potatoes of the article here. So be sure again to check out the actual article. Which story was Laura Palmer reading in Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me? In Fire Walk with Me, Laura Palmer is seen sitting at her desk doing homework. This is the scene just before her father, Leland, enters her bedroom to apologize. On her desk, you can see a notebook along with the Home University bookshelf book open to a specific page. The book is about 400 pages, so I figured the story was about halfway through the book. An illustration on the page closest to camera is half covered by her notebook. So I turned to the Internet Archive's copy and started thumbing through pages, virtually beginning with page 240. A few turns later, I found a match on page 259. The line breaks in the adjacent text appeared to match the on screen copy. Laura was reading an abridged version of William M. Thackeray's The Rose and the Ring, satirical fantasy fiction first published on Christmas Day in 1854, which criticizes attitudes of the monarchy and the influence in society about their ideals of beauty and marriage. So, was Laura's book open intentionally to the story? Of course it was. I've not found any official source indicating this was a conscious choice, yet the reference to the ring could be a nod to the alcove ring, which Laura was told not to take. Okay, the story is called The Rose and the Ring. Considering that we're dealing with blue roses and the alcove ring, I'm pretty sure that it was not a coincidence. They probably didn't think, though, that 30 plus years later that we'd be able to analyze this stuff, but here we are. But this is really cool. I mean, I don't know. I mean, was this something that David Lynch specifically chose, or was this something that somebody else chose, and then the prop people and they thought, oh, it's kind of cool, and they just did it? That is subject to debate because obviously this book is not, I believe, referenced in the actual screenplay for Firewalk with Me. So this may have just been kind of a little Easter egg, for not necessarily the audience, but maybe for Cheryl Lee herself, or just to have it be there, sort of like those dust bunnies, in the heater in Blue Velvet. We don't see them, but David Lynch knows it's there. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards at this moment. Anyway, the rose could either be a nod to Gordon Cole's Blue Rose case, the rose and floral imagery found throughout the Palmer house, or the fact Laura was once referenced as a beautiful flower who was cut down. There's even a cut scene from the film where, after Laura jumps off James Hurley's bike at the light at Sparkwood 21, the camera was supposed to pan down to Doc Hayward's wilted rose along the side of the road. This was a follow-up scene to the magic trick the doctor performed for Laura and Donna earlier in the film. That actually wasn't a cut scene. It's just you can actually see the shot in the movie when James peels away. There's like half a second or maybe 1 second where you start to see the camera start to kind of pan down, and right as it starts to pan down, it cuts to Laura walking in the woods. But that shot was just to continue to the wilted rose, so it's not really a cut scene, more like a cut shot, or at least the second half of that shot was removed. But anyway, let's go on. Knowing David Lynch's penchant for having intentional nods or references in his films, I can't help but think the story was selected by design. I agree. A related example takes place later in the film when Laura is seen walking through the school hall carrying the human comedy. That is so bizarre. I never even thought to look at these books that she's carrying. I just always thought they were just like, school books. The way she's holding the book so the title can be read seems intentional. Then again, I may be reading into all of this. I don't think you are. I just didn't think to ever look. And I'm pretty sure most of us never thought to really look because we just assumed they were. I mean, if her school book is intentional, then every single person's book is intentional as well. And it'd be interesting to track all those down as well. But I don't think you really can, considering that we don't really see the titles in those. But you never know. Appearances in the book and Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. This book is first seen as James Hurley stops to speak to Laura on the stairs. As Laura turns the corner, the book's cover is briefly flashed on camera. I'm assuming she was also holding it as she walked to school with Donna. The corner of the green cover book is seen as Laura stops to use the bathroom. I like this. I like this guy over here with with the jeans. As Laura closes the bathroom stall. Oh, wow. Steven, this is what I'm talking about. Steven gets all the nitty gritty details. Look at this. He's even getting this shot of her closing the bathroom stall. As Laura closes the stall, the book's cover is again briefly seen on camera. I wonder who played the other two students in this scene. Probably local high school students, but I don't know. As the school day ends, Laura and Donna cross the school's courtyard. You can see the home university bookshelf book in Laura's arms. There you go. As Laura smokes in her bed and opens her secret diary, the book is spotted next to her under her brown handbag and by her coat. Wow, she really didn't want that textbook to go far. Of course, then you see it again with her at her desk. Oh boy. Killer Bob passes by the desk with the book on the shelf and her 3-ring binder on the way to Laura's bed. Oh, well, yeah. I mean, it reminds me of like the Christmas lights in Eyes Wide Shut. Like almost once you notice that there are Christmas lights almost in every shot, you're like, oh my goodness, that's crazy. It's a Christmas movie. Well, here, now that Steven's pointing this out, that the book is almost every time we see Laura in a domesticated house or in the school. That's interesting. That really. Here we go. Leyland Palmer confronts Laura in her bedroom. She has gathered her school books, to which we can see the book is in her arms. And there she goes down the stairs. The final glimpse of Laura's book is seen as she descends the staircase away from her father and on the way to school. This scene was shot on a soundstage, which means the book traveled from the location scenes. Really, this was a soundstage too. The shot of her coming out of the room. Interesting. Okay, I thought just I just thought her bedroom was a set. No, actually, the shot of her going down the stairs also interesting. That is, I did not know that. Anyway, thank you to Matthew for finding another treasure to add to the ever-growing list of identified Twin Peaks props and set decorating items. Yes, thank you very much, Matthew, and thank you so much, Stephen, for doing the extra legwork here and giving us a really cool article. My mouth was dropping this morning when this came across my desktop here. So yeah, so be sure to check out Twin Peaks blog and tell me what you think in the comments. About your thoughts and feelings about this not only cool new nugget, but what you think is there meaning of this book in the Twin Peaks universe when it as it pertains to Laura and the universe that surrounds her. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you soon. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.